Tom Steyer could be a very interesting governor for the state.
You know, you live in California. Who are you thinking about for the governor there? I mean, we have a few folks. It's been a bit of an upheaval lately. I mean, we could play the same game. I could give you a couple of names. You can tell me yes, no, and maybe give a little bit of an explanation. So let's start. Katie Porter.
No. Katie Porter was a very interesting candidate. Obviously, like she was able to take over a purple district and was making a name for herself. She had the whiteboard. She would cook all of these like executives. And then even before we found out about like her anger issues, the thing that I care about the most on top of that, because that tells me what your character is. But what I also care about on top of that is like what your attitude is about, like what forces you're going to represent, who you're going to back. And her rapid change from being someone who was like somewhat pro worker, pro responsive politics, potentially a Bernie-crat, right? Has shifted. She became anti-worker, and I find that to be a very dangerous type of politics. So definitely no on Katie Porter.
What about the people's billionaire, Tom Steyer?
So I talked to Tom Steyer. I interviewed him. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think he's the most interesting candidate with viability right now in this race. Even before Swalwell's, sexual assault allegations came up, and he had to quit the race and also resign from office. Those were like the top three candidates, right? You had Swalwell, you had Porter, and you had Steyer on like the Democrat camp, and then you have Bianco and Hilton, right? The two Republicans, and I was genuinely terrified. I was talking to some other folks that also live in California. We were trying to figure out like what are we going to do here, and then also the Swalwell stuff came out. But yeah, I think Steyer, I can't believe I'm saying this, is probably a little bit more responsive than the rest of the candidates are, and all of those guys that we're voting for on the Democratic Party side, the establishment Democrats, they represent the interests of billionaires and millionaires regardless, even if they themselves are not billionaires or millionaires. So in the case of Tom Steyer, if he's advocating for, single payer healthcare in the state of California, that's a very appealing policy for someone like myself. I care about the policies and not the background of the person. So yeah, I think Tom Steyer could be a very interesting governor for the state.